teacher, welcome back. Now this is Peter here. Now I just remembered I said something in the previous class. So when you share, you're still sharing as an image. Please, I said as a PLP file. Just forgive me. I was sleeping then, and I was making the video. I just slept off. All right. So when you open PLP, let's just open PLP, and I share this here. I click on share from this side. Just wait while it loads. Oh God, why is it taking time? So when I click on share, automatically it saves as a PLP. See share, just wait and see. Save that. It even tell me where it's saved. thumbnail2.plp. So that's when it saves as a PLP. So let me just try to correct that. Okay, funny thing you can do when you're feeling sleepy. Please don't stress yourself. All right, so let's just resume this. Now I've talked about this one. Probably I'll just move this video here before this particular one. Then I'll use the text as my 3. All right, so I'll use this text as my 3. All right, so or I'll just have to edit that video anyway. I'll still just make of it like this. All right, so this particular option now comes to where we have our image. Now this one only works for text. We said before, this works for your shape, your sticker, and your image. Anything that is so. Let's go back to this our text. So this our text. When I just put off the please, the only my problem with the normal Pixellab is that it runs hard. So let me copy and just position this here, and I'll just merge it. It's still going to give me the same effect. Still the same effect. If it's not giving me, it's a miracle. Then so it says it's going to give me that the same distorting effect. Now all right, so now you see it is no longer a text, it is now an image. So I can now see the image option is now working for it because we merged it together. Now all right, we've talked about, let me delete, we've talked about this sticker, we've talked about sticker. Now this flare effect, if you want to make use of it, just tap on the screen. Don't click on this mark, it's going to disappear. Bring in sticker back, just you can just leave it like, don't click on the screen, so you just have it. So you delete this. So this is for imports. You want to import something from an image from your gallery or wherever you have it. So this is, let me just bring in the picture of this lady. Okay, and most times when I bring in pictures like this, you see he's having some like a mark there. So it's either I just let me just move it this way. I don't want it to touch the head. All right, so or this makes the picture rotate the crop. You want it to rotate this way, so this is how it's going to come out. All right, so this is, maybe I want to pick the circular part of it. Okay, all right, so this is it. This is, so you see that base, it is kind of, so I want to flip between both sides, flip this way, then I'll click on it. It's going to cancel everything I'm doing. Now this check mark and you will done. So this gives me a ratio. Let me get rid of this one. So this now when I clicked on this, I can only draw it here to make it even, to make both sides even. But if I click on this one, I can draw any of the length that I want. So this makes it zoom in and zoom out. All right, so this is different options, mostly works for. Now when you're using your zoom tool, make sure you click on and you disable the zoom. If not, you won't be able to move. Then just make use of this to select different proportion. Maybe you want it to be here, you want this size. But most times when you work with background, you use 1:1, especially when you're doing the social media design. All right, so let's end this here. That's all for the crop tool. Now most times, all right, let's just say the crop imagine we just brought everything like that. All right, so I will just leave this here. So the next thing I'll be doing is, now we've talked about to front, to back, we've talked about position, relative size. Now we want to just it must be even. And there are times when you are using this relative size, when you click on, see, enable, when you click on this, by default is enable. When you click on it back, so you can actually move this side, or when you click on, see, you can move it this way. So that's it for this part. Let me just cancel this. So that's all for relative size. Anyway, so this for color, you will just change the color of your image so it works with everywhere here. So I can just apply the gradient we've been using before. All right, so this is this for this, and I can come to opacity. Opacity, just reduce, and forget, even though that this one has opacity. Now remember, we didn't click shadow. We didn't click affect shadow. So when I come to shadow, so it's still going to give me the same element. But when I come to opacity and click affect shadow, so that it's not going to give me shadow. All right, so let me come to my shadow option. We've spoken about shadow option in the previous video. So we didn't talk about perspective in text. Oh god, I just don't know, I forgot it. So we'll talk about perspective now. We just talked about almost everything except perspective. Now let me, now you're not seeing this stroke now because remember we reduced the opacity. Even though you increase it, you're just seeing the reflection in the shadow. This stroke, let me come to shadow and just put it off. All right, so let me come to my opacity and reduce the opacity. So this is what we're seeing here. Now what if I want to get rid of this one? This is my eraser. It works, it doesn't work for text, it works on something that is image. So if you want to use it for your text, you have to make your text together. So you come click on text. So this is how to increase the size. You increase the size. So if you want to make it blur, so you see, when you see it's kind of blur there. Now this is the redo. If you want to just select a rough portion, this is if you want to do the inside. Let's select that our portion back. This is if you want to do get rid of the outside, in like inverts. All right, so this is for this. If you are selecting this one, still this is a rectangle, but this time we just want this side to be like a rectangular part, then this, then this. So inverts. This is circle. All right, so this is the circle part, so the same option. So this is zoom. Probably you just want to reduce the size of this tool and just want to keep maybe. All right, so I will just click on this, hold here, let me click on this, zoom in. I wanted to use something on that lady's shirt. All right, no. Oh, but please zoom out. Oh, okay, I'm making a tutorial. You know, okay, let me just come here, click on this side. So I'll just have to go back on the zoom. You can't actually work if you still have your zoom still on. So you can see I can barely move my this, so I'll just have to zoom in. So the highest of the zoom is about 500. So I will I will just, is it still zoomed in? I can barely move this thing now. All right, so let's just come here and we have this option selected. I will then, yeah, so it's like this. So this is what I'm having. So then I'll just come to stroke and disable the stroke. So this is what I have here. let me go back, redo. So when you click on redo outside, it reduces everything, but when you click on redo inside you just be taking it step by step, but when you click on outside, it reduces everything. Now, so if maybe you want that particular effect back and you know you can't go back, recover autosave is actually supposed to save it for us. Recover autosave, let's try. Let's come to autosave again. Right, it didn't save it. It didn't save it. Recover autosave, let's check this third one. It actually didn't save it. Alright, so this is, we've talked about the max tool. The same effect happens to the text, also happens to the image, in and out. Alright, so there's this erase color. Now erase color, you want to like erase color actually happens to, let me get rid of this stroke. You want to, from probably an image with, you want to pick this color, like by default is in white. You see the white part of the cloth has gone. When you click on the eyedropper, you can now move it with your hand to this side, then click on this here, right? So the skin, so this is tolerance. You can increase the tolerance, you can reduce the tolerance, you can make the edge smooth and increase the tolerance. So I think I prefer this way. So this is, you can increase, click on plus, means you can use this eyedropper, and let's pick on the blue part. So you increase it, so you see the blue part is gone, means you can increase to your taste. But let's just cancel this. Now this is rotation. Rotation happens the same thing. Now this is the perspective tool about you. No, this is disabled by default. So you see I've actually moved the image, this thing like this. Or you just need to just drag those points to the place you desire, then you click on enable. See, if it is not enabled, it will move. Now this is the reset button. Now let's go back to our text option, click on text. I just skipped it by mistake in perspective. See the same thing, this one here, this one here, then so this is the effect, right? So if you want to, I spoke about, you want to erase some things in your image, you can't, it's not an eraser option, so I have to just copy it. Let me put position at the center, relative position at the center, this one at the center, so this one. So see, I can now use my eraser. Alright, so I can now use my eraser, and I can now erase. Probably I want to erase. Let me just don't make it smooth. Alright, so I have this here. You can see it now. I can now erase the text. Let me just come here and so now this is still click on my image. Now I've spoken about perspective, I've spoken about shadow. The shadow is still the same thing. A shadow makes you something real to you, and like this way. Now unlike this thing that has shape that has opacity, shadow does not have opacity, so you just have to create, this is if you want to increase the blur of the shadow, you have to just create one. You click on this plus, then this other one, you draw it here, you move it to this place. You see, this is how we reduce. You can see now the shadow is there, but the strength is reduced. But when you click on color, by default is black. When you click on color, see is brown now, and it is very thick. You still click on the plus icon, now reduce it to this place, and you notice that the color is there and is black. But when we come to shadow and we okay, this shadow, now this does not have outer glow unlike the text. Now inner shadow, let's try the inner shadow option. Let me increase the blur. Now you're seeing like a black effect on the lady's body. Now it just brought give me an idea now. I remember working on some designs. Alright, so this is practically what you have. Alright, so you just taught me, I just learned something now, just playing with this thing. I just learned something now. So now it's just that I'm working with the background. Now if I, so this is my blur radius, so this offset y, so if I just want that the light, I see the light is pointing towards my image, that's why I'm using it like this. So it makes it kind of more real. Now like there is light on my image, I can just now create like a light effect here. So we've talked about emboss. If I see it has scattered, so the same thing happens, which appears for the text. So the emboss doesn't affect the, so but I still can't save it like this. You still give me the same distortion. Alright, so this is it. This is it. If I want to change the position of the light. Alright, so I will click on this. Now, alright, pass. I guess we're done. So this reselect. I want to select an image. Let me just select this model. So you still see the same effect, the same emboss and the same everything. So this is how you want to, maybe you want to bring in an image. You don't want to start editing the same effect. You can just copy it, click on reselect. Maybe you want to, and now this one has background, so you see the effect is still in the background. So you don't want to start bringing out different element again. So let me just get rid of my emboss here. Let me come to my inner shadow and just put it off. Alright, so let me come to my erase color. Come to erase color. See, you can see now it's actually helped me with my background. But you notice the lady's teeth, because it is kind of white, and by default it is white. So if I increase the tolerance, you're still seeing the effect. If I increase the, you're still seeing that jargons there. Alright, so this is that. It actually works for image that are better without white background, without those background reflecting. Alright, so if you bring another image like this from shape, you are bringing a fresh image, it will not replicate that, it will not contain the same effect so that this one has, except you copy it and reflect that you want to make use of reselect, so it automatically copies the effect that the previous image is having. Now let's not click on, let's just lock it. Now when you lock the screen, every of the screen, and you click on your image, it won't be able to move. You see, it's not even changing. This option is not changing. So except I come to this image and unlock it, the same happens to your text. So if I touch it now, I can move it, and this option is moving. But when I come here and I lock it, oh sorry, and I lock it, see, I touch the screen, it's not moving. I want to edit it, I can't edit it. I can just come here, come to this option, and I just come add some edition here, come to relative size and edit it, increase the size, reduce it. Alright, so I can, if I touch, even though I touch the image, you see the option is no longer coming, except I come here and touch it, and I lock it and start editing it. So what again? Texture, the same thing that happens to your text, we did in our text, also happens here. Let's make use of this particular image for the texture. See, the lady has actually changed, it has changed. So let me just get rid of the emboss. I don't like this distortion. So you can see it's just like you're having a shadow of like a reflection. All right, so this is what we have here. Now we have 3D shape. We've spoken about 3D the same way we did it. So this is oblique, then depth, auto, gradient. You want to see the color change, auto gives you automatically the color from your image. So this one I want to give it my own desired color. See, let me just stick with auto. Then all right, so we have this. All right, now this is for our background. By default, you can come here and change the background to this gradient, or change here to any color of your choice. I thought you had to steal color from an image now, so you must make sure the image is there. All right, so we have transparent. You want it to transparent. So and when your object is transparent, the best if you want to save it, export as a PNG, please. Export as a PNG, not as a JPEG. If you do as a JPEG, you'll be having. Let's just see. Let me save it as a. Now those two images that we just saved. Now let me bring them in plus from gallery. You'll notice. Come to recent. Now you notice they are having black background. So you will not want this. Probably you are trying to get something that is transparent. So the best thing to save is you save image as a PNG. No, and in the previous video, I don't know if I said it very clear. When you are saving, you save in ultra, or better still save in custom, and you now come here and increase the size. You increase the size. You increase the size of this thing. So we can just send this 7,000. Then this one here. Okay, this is the width. If you okay, now you can actually change your this thing here 7,000. Then when you save it, when you say okay, just now what happened, I've just changed the dimension of my, it's going to affect my image. This is just what's going to happen. I made it 1:1. It's going to affect my image. You see, you will now see, just notice that it's taking time, and this time you may not even have to enhance your designs when you are saving this way. You may not have to enhance your design when you are saving this way. The result is going to be clear, but it's just going to take time for it to load. When you now check it, you may save in probably 15 megabyte or 20 megabyte, but the result is going to be very clear. So let's just wait. All right, so let's bring it back from the gallery. So this is it. Now you see how all the image is like now. See how as if it's shrinked. Now so I can now just look at, I just have to use my hand to stretch it out now, and it's kind of okay now, but it may not work for every of your image. But okay, now this is what we are having now. We will just come here and the same thing, come to save image, and you just save as a custom. I told you custom. Now just add maybe 0 here, come here and add 0 here, and by default it is now high. So when you now save, I'll show you probably when I'm so can't create image size. Okay, so I will just what I'll do now is I will divide this by 0 here, 0 which is 160, 0 oh no 0 which is 3000, and multiply this by 3. This is 9,000. This is by 3 is 4. Sorry, by 3 this is 2. So if I save now, it's going to save, and the quality is still going to be better. You will notice that it's still going to take a while for it to load, and the quality, you can try it out when you're doing your design. The quality is going to be better compared to the way it was. The higher the quality, the lower the higher the resolution, the dimension you're saving it, the clearer your image will be. So when you come to color, so now we want to change the color of your background. The same thing applies here. So we have a background, so we can change it here. So this gradient still the same thing here. We have sorry, I just have to take time now. I'm spending time with my math. I have to just go back to my math. Then okay, times 4, that's 1200. I mean 12,000, not 1200. 1200 is 1,200. 1,800 times 4 should be 1,800. 800 times 4. This is 4 times 8. That's 4 times 8. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. 200, 3, 4 times 1 is 4, then 3, that's 7,200. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I'm not mistaken. Now, okay, hey, I'm struggling with my math, so Jesus Christ. Hey, yeah. Look at the businessman. Now come to Jesus Christ. I'm struggling with math too. So this is image here, gives me the default image that came with my Pixellab. Like I said before, they may different from Pixellab to Pixellab. All right, so this is what we have here. Now come to from gallery. This enables to pick my background directly from what the images I'm having. All right, so I don't want to go to my, okay, let me just go to download. Then, oh God, I just struggled with maths and took a lot of time. Jesus Christ. Me, that was the best student of my class. You say when you've not done something for a while, you just try forgetting. I don't believe I can start forgetting maths this way. Now this is from camera. Maybe you want to use something from your camera. All right, so this is that for this. No, this is for effect. This is probably you want to rotate. You see, I'm rotating the background. Now this is vignette. Is that like a black fill? I think I forgot something. A black fill. So if I change the color to blue, you check the edges are blue. I use this most times in my design. Now this is noise. Now it only affects the background. Does it affect the image too? No, it's more of the background. All right, so we have this. We can just now stripes too. So it's also work on the background. I seldom use this on my design, mostly repeats. Okay, let me just, when I repeat it, so you just like this, I just disable this guy. So come here, increase the brightness of my background. See it, like the brightness. All right, so this is, I think I still left this is off. All right, so contrast, I want to increase the contrast. All right, saturate hue, I want to, hue doesn't, oh, is what, okay, it shows that it's not actually white. It's not pure white. Hue doesn't work on white and black. Now see, it actually changed. In saturation too, changes, you just desaturate it, wash away all the color. That's what saturation does. Now when you come to your image, let me come to my texture and let me delete the texture. Okay, so I'll come to camera filter, come to my hue. I can see me working on this camera filter. I didn't talk about it, so I will just be moving here and there. Saturation makes me, I can desaturate my image to my choice. Now the reason I'm having blue, because of the outer shadow I put there, so I can just reduce the brightness, increase the contrast. Now see that feel, I kind of like this. It gives me something like a melanin color. Let me get rid of this inner shadow now, but the image is having like a white around it anyway, so this is why I'm having this thing here. But I kind of like this feel anyway. I'll come back to my color filter, I come to my brightness, and yeah, I have this. So is there anything I haven't spoken about again? I think there is something I skipped. So you can also access the image size from here, the one I struggled with the other time. But social media design use 1:1, which is 3000 by 3000. Let me just come back here. I can click on export here. I'll now select the image that I want to save. Now come to this place, recover autosave, open PLP. When I click on open PLP, it gives me variations of options. If I click on this side, that this one is for the arrangement, but I'll just keep it. If I want ascending order, that is from the lowest, the one I did first, but I actually like this date descending, that is from the least one I just did. Now if you want to delete it, I'm not deleting anything here, you just click on the delete here, and this is what most things, it takes your space in Pixellab. Right, so let's just wait for some times. If there's still other things I need to say, I will say it now. All right, so okay, now I just remembered I left some tools unchecked. Bezier 2. Now this Bezier 2, it is different from, let me click on, let me just get, I want to delete, like see when I click on the screen, but because of this one selected plus, it is anytime where I click, you'll be forming a new Bezier. But when I click on this one, it's going to make me be rotating or just in the direction of this two. Then if I click on this one, I'll be able to move it. Now when I click on cancel, see it's deleting the point. Let me select this one. So let me this one cancel. Alright, so let me click on plus and just bring it this way. So if I now, oh boy, this particular option, yeah, I've actually joined it together. Wow, let me just pause this video here. So I can now use this, move this here, move this here, use this for my Bezier tool. So if I want to select it or close, I can use this option just to break the circle. I want to create back the circle. Now this particular one makes me to scale, increase the size. Then this one has to do with rotation, makes me to rotate my this. Now if I want to fill inside, so this is the opacity, whatever I want to fill it with. If it's a gradient, we can do this. So if the stroke, at times you may just maybe don't want stroke. Now see, by default the edges are round, so if you want it to be this way or this way, you want it to be this way or you want it to be round anyway. So let me make it this way first and just come so you can see how the edge is. Let me just go back to edit, come back. Let me just still make it round. So this is the opacity, this is the stroke color. I reduce the stroke to this. So this is the stroke color of the, you want to change it to maybe blue, you can use the same gradient effect you're using. Alright, so that is all for this particular one here. So I can, let me click on my screen. Now I locked everywhere. Now this is the arrow option. Now if I want to make this end, now this is the end. If I want to make it, so if I want to make the arrow, the end big, so I seldom use this option anyway. I want to make this big, then I want to make it circle, I make this round. So of the options we are having, so something like this. So if you want to make this head big, all right, you want to just use it as something pointing to somewhere, or you want to make this big, make this like this. Then this top, you want to make it like this. Then this is for the stroke, for the, you want to maybe get rid of this stroke, you don't want the stroke. This is the option. You want to make it this a color, this particular color, this is the fill color. Now you want to, the stroke too, you want to, let me just add stroke to it. Now increase the opacity, don't want to reduce it. Let me make it blue, or let me make it blue, or just come here and make it this color. Alright, so we have this. I guess I've covered everything. Let me come back, go back to the options, click on this and go back to the options if I have not covered everything. I've spoken about emboss, I've spoken about the background, every of the background. I've spoken about from camera is, if you want to snap from directly from camera. I'm not having a good background now. Then this is this other option, this particular one here. So then this one now, I have to just lock the screen, so that anytime I click on anywhere, it's nothing will be reflecting. So this is for my sticker, this is for my bezel, so this is my shape. Now this is my text, this is my option, this is my whatever we are having. Alright, so this is everything I have for you on the introduction to Pixellab. So that will be all for this tutorial. See you in the next video.